Hello everybody, welcome back to Motorsport Manager. It's time to head off to Canada, Vancouver, and try to start really nailing this down, getting towards clinching the team championship. It's 2021, of course, second half of the year now, our sixth year in the create your own team mode, but we're actually our first year in endurance racing. And I've decided I'm going to hold off on designing any more parts this year. I'm just going to keep working on the ones we have and save up money. Those are going to be my goals. And 12 hours. And once again, say that they're equally great. 13 pit stops, 27 seconds and change. Let's see if there's anybody overly compelling in our new available hires. Oh yeah. Crespin a 19, Wood a 19, and great stamina for Wood. On the tires, 18 there for... Okay, so we got some work to do here, that's for sure. So we're going to want to remove some tire people. We definitely want to hang on to you. I don't know that we need the Gavra, so let's get rid of them. Get rid of Pischaki, and we're going to at least start with that. Crespin's coming in. Wood's coming in. Then let's do some shifting around and get them out there. And yeah, these two that are at 17, we're getting rid of them as well. Especially Gomez is a good time to do it because he screwed up in the last race. Yeah, it's an 18 on the jack, but still, you're going. Yep, and then you're an 18 out there. That may be the only one that we additionally want to use. Okay, swap you out. Let's get Leduc out there. Let's see, we need a new rear jack. Or rather not new, but switch around. And then 2019. We need to get our other refuelers out there. So I think mostly for now I'm just going to leave the rest of these there and we can use them if we need them. I don't think we need you. Probably not you either. Very nice there, but Jacotin's better. So we'll leave those three. And then we'll call it here. We're at 42.9 and we're number one on the grid. Continuing. Okay, Bjork is a gambling addict. That's not good. He's in here every night throwing big money chips around like popcorn. Just keeps losing. I spend enough time at casinos to know an addict when I see one, and Thed fits the bill. -2 focus. -20 morale. Well, that's not great. Okay, Vancouver. Suspension and spoilers. Going to be our focus for this one. Do we need any more reliability with anything, really? And I don't think we do. Well, we could use a little more with the engine. I'm going to put these three out there because they're less than 90%. But I'm not going to put any effort to them. Just let them boost up as they will. And then if we did the suspension and the spoiler, well, suspension, we can't improve it. So the rear wing, that's going to be our ticket for this race. And then it's always good to keep improving the engine. We'll be able to get this stuff most of the way there by the time the race arrives. Yep, and they're even mentioning the engine as the third part there. So that all seems to be useful, and we have more sponsors. We're still at 4 stars. Okay, we've got a 5th or above target. What are... I want to double check. We have 7th or above at the moment. I think that's the only bonus one that we have. And that's 5 more races. So we would be basically nullifying that one. But we'd get another 300K. Let's see, 5th or above. And the thing is, 13 races. We only have 4 races left in this year. We're going to get promoted. I don't know how successful we'll be at doing 5th or above next year. So I don't think that's the ticket. And this is the best of these 2 deals. So I think I'm going to take Epson's fixed pay. And then financially, again, that continues to boost our per race. Of course, we could have gotten more money by going with the upfront, but I'm going for long-term growth of the finances right now. That's by far the most important thing, I think. And then we just got to move this along. And I don't see any reason to even need to check back in with this. This is all just, I just want to run with this all the way there. Oh, now what? Mechanics are not happy working in the factory. They have quite long hours. What should I tell them? Deal with it for -5 or give them all a bonus. Let's see what our mechanic relationship is. It's good, but not great. And it's only going to go down a little bit, but this would boost it up quite a bit. It's probably worth 500K to do that. I'm going to do a rare exception here and go ahead and spend the money. Obviously, we don't have a lot of money. You know, I think it's just better to have everybody happy. They're happy with us being first instead of second. Spec engines are on the agenda. See team's current engines replaced with standard GMA-approved engine. Technical expert Marie Haskell. I hate the idea of limiting teams' ability to improve. Motorsport is as much about the technology as anything else. True, although this is the lower level tier. We're looking for a better staff center. Nope, we're not spending money. We're likely to perform well, says Eddie Dubois. TDS racing driver Dean Stoneman feeling bullish. And Bjork says a podium finish is doable. It better be. And it's time to get out there for the vote. And I think we're going to abstain on this as well. Simply because let's save our voting power for next year. If we're going to promote, it does not matter what happens down here. Of course, that means we have to actually promote, but I think that's pretty safe. All right, and it actually passes. 3-2, narrow vote, but they will go to spec engines next year. They will go, I will not. Okay. So we're overall looking much better now. We're first there. We're second barely in engines to Bicolis. Second to TDS in the gearbox. Brakes are number 1. Only 4th, although we're still above average in the spoiler. And overall we're at the top. For here, those are near max, and so are these. So let's go ahead and yank these out. Keep everything as it is for the moment till we get through the race. I think I've got all the right parts on, but I'm going to double check that. 27 degrees and heavy rain for the race. And yeah, we're definitely going to want soft tires. I don't think there's any question about that. It's either 8 and 6 or 5 and 7 is the question here. And you know what? I'm going to go Or 7 and 7. I'm going to split it 7 and 7. We still should have enough tires for qualifying, I would think. And let's make sure that everything is as we want it. Yes, indeed. So we're second with car number 1 and 6th here. So apparently they don't think we're going to do quite as well as we did last race, but still performing strong. And we'll start off with a bit of rain for practice. Not a lot, but I think we'll begin on inters and then switch over. All right. Mueller, as always. A lot more understeer. And a little more acceleration. And for the softs, it's a short track. So for the softs, we're looking at about 85 laps. We're going to see how that compares to some of the times that we get. See if that's going to be enough for a full stint. Going to hope that it is. Move this up to 6. Understeer. Acceleration. And inters for you as well. Already set on that. And Goddard looking better than we thought. Both drivers at 7. Let's just get a few laps in. Before the rain goes away. And hopefully later on, get a whole bunch of work in on our softs. There we go. So we're going to see 85 laps times. How long is it going to take to get around this track? And this is the long version of Vancouver. More downforce, says Goddard. Yeah, and as long as these are taking, we're going to have plenty of tires. Super softs could probably get around the number of times we're going to be able to spend out on the track each stint as well. But they would not be right for the temperature. So I still like the idea of going with softs. We want more understeer, says Goddard. Okay, the rain's gone. It's drying out. I think we want to come in this time. And Mueller wants softer handling. So we have a bit of a disagreement on that. Oh, I thought I didn't hit to bring him in. Doggone it. Okay, downforce is terrible. He loves the speed. So let's stick on race trim, switch to soft tires. That's not enough. Let's go up to 6.6 maybe? Yeah, let's try that. He says it wasn't offering him enough, but I don't think there's room. I don't think there's room for that. I'm going to assume that you were off on that. That you wanted to go down this way. And then we'll get Goddard around here. %. So we didn't exactly knock it out of the park on our initial bunch of setups. So that might be a bit high. Try 7.7 for now. And you did want more understeer. And I'll assume more acceleration there. 45-second stop. So I'm just making sure we get that race trim, and then we'll work our way towards on the softs. Looks like, okay, we're going up and down. Temperature is going up, but not that much. They're pretty good tires for this particular temperature. I think I'll bring in Mueller this time. Goddard might have to go around again. But Mueller will switch over to qualifying trim. Stay out on the softs though. We need more work on those. Alright, well we got the handling. And we got the speed the first time, we don't have to worry about that. So we only care about the downforce here. Once we get everything switched around. Qualifying, staying on the tires. And we were very poor to good, and I'm going to say it goes higher. So it looks like we want to be right there on the end, and we'll see if that's correct or not. And now we've hit the race trim. So Goddard will come in this time and switch around the handling. He says the speed balance sucks. Well, it's the only thing that we need to fix. So they're looking great. 90%. Get the speed right and we'll be all set. And then qualifying softs again. So we went from good to okay. That might be a bit high, but that's in the right range. Mueller likes the down for it. So I think that we're pretty much, I mean, only over a third of this to go, but we're pretty much right there where we want to be with the setup. We'll get whatever we can get out of these softs, and then switch over to working ultras. We're right on with each other with the times here. We're winning practice, we were. Sneaking in there is Tongue. I think we'll bring in Mueller again. And have Goddard finish up with one more lap. Still 8 minutes to go. Going to use that to try to knock on the ultras. Okay, I think we've hit them all now. We just got to fuse it all together. So yeah, that was right on. That was right on. That was right on. Okay, so a little bit more understeer. And then quite a bit more speed. That's a little low, that's a little high. That's probably right on. If not, it's darn close. Yep, got the right tires. Out we go. Let's see how Goddard is doing at wrapping up those softs. Looks like he's going to get there. And the Ultra's starting to climb with 7 minutes to go. Yep, there's the softs. So Goddard can come in and switch. And he's right on the button. No further adjustments needed. 99%. Just switch tires and go. So at this point, we're just going to speed this along. I think Mueller's close enough on his setup that I don't really care about that. I just want to get whatever we can out of this. We're going to nail our qualifying trim. And maybe we get to level 2 on Ultras. Probably not. That's the only hole in this. But really, with the weather at the beginning, don't know that we could have done much better. Might get there. Boy, that was really close whether or not we got to level 2. I don't think we did. In any case, so we're 3rd and 4th in our class. And the difference, not much. So pretty happy with that. And on to qualifying we go. This ain't the circus by Collis. Graves really struggling. And let's see what we have here. Well, Muck, you're not driving that well today, so you can sit. 7 across the board, so we'll take our better drivers. Really liking our form. It looks like we're picking it up this weekend. Might as well take that 5% on the Ultras, because that's what we're going to be using. Yep, no weather issues. So some of the other teams probably going to do a little bit better than us relatively in qualifying, but not worried about it. Okay, so we're not quite there yet, 97%. We want a little bit more speed without horribly compromising everything else. I don't know if that ruins it or not, but we'll try it. And you're going to be all set. No need for any changes there. So Mueller, let's get you out first, just in case we have to make any changes with you. And Castelli not looking too good today. Was before the race, but all of a sudden it has dropped. I think we're definitely going to be looking at three tries around the track on this one. There we go. Yeah, I don't see getting in a fourth. So let's go with the 3 and see what happens. Mueller, of course, going to be setting the pace. We might as well speed this along till he gets close to coming in. First and fourth amongst our group. I see no reason to switch drivers here. Getting the growl out there. And some fresh tires. Goddard will go out on fresh tires. So I think we're all set. question of what kind of times we can turn in here. And after this one, we'll have a pretty good idea. We're first and fourth after the first car around. Pretty good start for Negrao. I think that's one of the annoyed Class A cars behind us, a couple of them. That was pretty good. Just get around the track a little faster. Goddard not super happy. Okay. So we don't have the top two qualifying positions yet. In order to get that, Goddard would have to give us something better. McGraw's time was the best in our class so far. I could wait. I could switch drivers. Actually, why don't I switch back to Mueller, see if he can improve. Why not? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Let's not do that. It's raining. It's going to rain most of the rest of the time. Track grip's going to go down. Yeah, I don't see the point. We'll just stay in. We'll stay in and take what we've got. I don't think anybody's going to be dramatically improving. We could try to get one more run with the drivers at the end. But why do that when we're in good position and qualifying matters as little as it does here? I just don't see the point. We'll just speed through the rest of this and come in to the race. He dropped a spot, just barely. Dropped one spot. Still qualified well, of course, though. We're in strong position. We get the sponsor bonus. And I think we're as set as we can be for the race. So we got some weird comments from social media. Who's running bike-haulers anyway? Donkeys! And then I'm wired up on maple syrup and ready for some racing action. Okay. Anyway, moving on. And all that rain is not showing up at the start of the race, in any case. So we're, of course, going to go softs and race trim here. Much better boost than any of the other stuff. And no sign of rain at the beginning, at least. So we're definitely not going to use the ultras. Okay, so how many laps are we going to get out of a stint? Well, there was running right about, let's just say, 1:40 seconds. It was actually just slightly over that. And well, let's put on Mueller. Mueller's looking good. We'll have him start off this race. And we're definitely going to want to, again, switch to the softs. But you can see these tires are going to last about 2 hours. We're not going to need them to last that long. Super softs would have lasted long enough. But there's not a huge speed difference. And these are better for the temperature. So probably overall, super softs would have been the tire for this track. Ultras don't last long enough. Anyway, fuel. Now this amount of fuel should last approximately hour 25 minutes. We don't need that much. Let me just do a quick little bit of math here. Because, you know, our typical stint is 1:12. So we should need 43 to 44 laps to get through that. And let's hold on. Let's bring some extra. So we're going to drop it down to 46. So that should give us a couple laps extra fuel. But we should still be able to get that. So that's what I'm going to roll with here. And then let's get set up on the second car. And I think overall, we're going to want to start this one off with Goddard. And we'll knock that down to 46 laps as well. Of course, we're going to go all neutral here. Always do for endurance. Okay, let's ride our way down and see what our actual form is. Mueller at 8, Muck at 8, Negrao at 9. Boy, that's spectacular there. And then Goddard does look the best. Okay, so we made some reasonable choices there. And here we go. Rolling start, away they go. Away we go. We'll follow Mueller around and get this show on the road. And you know what? Let's just, until we get to the start of the race. And here we go. Of course, the other driver is going to drive more aggressively. That's a nice straightaway right there. And probably the best one. Of course, bunch of turns in here. This is no man's land for the boost. That there is decent, but winds around here. Makes this sharp turn right there. Yeah. I think that's where I want to go for it. And the temperature for the tires is gradually increasing, so we don't want to go super aggressive at all. Of course, we're fading off the pace. 9 seconds or so here. But let's give this a whirl. Let's see how Mueller does. Okay, I got about 20% or so out of that. There is this part right here, but it's shorter. It's definitely shorter. I like that. I like that longer straightaway. And let's get some with Goddard. So, of course, right now we're close enough together that we're only going to get in 1 per lap. And it's just past that part where this comes in that I want to get off the gas. So that's a good marker for me to watch for. I think that was pretty good. And now Goddard in the zone. And so we're basically doing this alternating laps thing. We'll basically maintain our amount of energy or go slightly down. So dueling a speed burst there, and they held it out longer. Yeah, I think we're going slightly down then on our energy. Really nobody around Mr. Mueller there. Goddard still fighting for 19th with Brundle, who is on, of course, the super soft tires. Everybody else is on softs, though. The majority of the field picking what we did. Yeah, so we're just going very slightly down here. So until the cars separate and we can do like a boost on each lap or whatever, this is just going to be a gradual grind. But I do think Mueller, now that we're into using the boost, is part of it's being fired up. But he's actually making ground up now. He's up to second. So early on, we're close to the lead there. And Goddard, well, he's not doing too badly for himself either. Sitting middle of the pack. Of course, our second car having the weaker drivers, and I think slightly weaker parts as well, but parts are pretty close. It'll be very important not to miss very many boosts here. Because right now, at least, we're not able to gain a bunch with it. Doesn't seem to be too terribly difficult to time it out. Then on the other hand, Goddard is still fading back some. Mueller seeming to be separating from the pack in second. We may eventually have to conserve the tires a bit just because of the temperature. Yeah, it's going to even get warmer. So Goddard trying to make a run at 5th place there. still think we're gradually catching up, although again, in the fired up mode. And Mueller driving at 8.5, driving outstanding. Goddard driving quite well also. We're starting to get the Class A cars involved already. And Mueller loses. Doggone it. Yep. So that was a screw up. And we'll just hang with Goddard then. We'll have him run another one next lap. Battling there and possibly getting by. It's close. And Goddard no longer fired up. But he did get up to 5th, at least for the moment. And still only 3 seconds back is Mueller. So held that one a bit long, but I really like his odds of winning. Our odds of winning the race with the car number 1. Number 2 here, less certain where we're going to end up. All depends on pit stops and whatnot, but if we're holding our own this far in, we normally, of course, do much better later on in the race. So I really can't be pessimistic about this at all. This time we'll just see how far back they are when we finish our burn. Just checking on the gap. Yeah, we've switched to him and he's partway through that segment. We probably need to get another 10 seconds or so of separation to do the alternating on the same lap car deal. Hopefully that will happen before this race is over, just for the purpose of making it go by quicker. And I think I held that one just a hair long as well. Nonetheless, we're gradually working it down. Mueller up next. Was hanging out just a little over a second. Yeah, between 1 and 2 seconds. He's getting in range to possibly strike for the lead. Got right up there alongside, battling for it, and we need to go conserve. That's not going to help any of our gaps, of course, but we're just over half an hour in, and these tires are getting interestingly warm already. And they should drop pretty quick. You already see them dropping. That there was just about perfect. Mueller back to 14th, but again, he's close. I think given how long the stint is, I want to drop these tires down decent amount before I go back on them. There we go, surging into the lead now. We can try doing the alternating thing if we get above, I'd say 20 seconds gap. Right now it's 13 and hasn't changed much for a while. At least I've only missed the one boost, and we are gradually working it down. So Goddard in 5th, but gradually moving up. And number 2 car there, Rollins, currently driving, is fired up. So we definitely need our boost to stay ahead of them. After this one, I think I'm going to go back on neutral for the tires. Should be able to ride there for a while. And Mueller holding the lead just fine, even opposing a fired-up driver. 8.6 form and a good driver, strong car will do a lot for you. Energy getting low, but we've still got enough for a little bit longer here. And I do think overall, Mueller continuing to pull out more and more of the lead. And you can see the other cars on soft tires. They're burning them faster than we are. So as this stint goes on, I think our advantage going to increase. And Goddard moves up a position. And he's pretty low. I think maybe after this push by Mueller, we can do some accelerated time and recover. Not a lot of it. Yep, single digits. I think I'll go up to about 50% on Goddard. Let's go ahead and follow along with him. 9-10 second lead for us at the front. So this is a lot like previous races, except we're simply getting there a lot faster. We're getting up through the field a lot faster, I should say. Okay. Now we're almost at 60. And let's take a look at our weather. Still looking clear. So we have no need to adjust our stint length. I think we'll want to hit as close to that 1 hour, 12-minute mark as we can. Oh yeah, 26 seconds. So maybe we can alternate this now. Probably can. I'm going to run Goddard on this lap, and then the one after that, I will try to alternate. And the first hour of Vancouver is in the books. And look at Mueller's lead. He is just running away with this. I don't think there's much question who's going to win this race, barring a disaster. Okay, switch immediately to Goddard. Just enough time. So I can't afford for the gap to shrink much below, say, 23, 25 seconds. But right now it's working. Just over the 1 hour mark. We've got about 10 minutes left. A few laps for each driver. Goddard unable to get anywhere with that. Let's go ahead and accelerate time again. We may get a little bit into the red on the temperature here, but we're going to be changing out these tires, and they only have to last about another 10 minutes. Not even. So I'm just going to let that happen. Yep, plenty of room there as the gap has grown. There's almost enough to send both drivers in at the same time, but not quite. I don't see any reason not to go ahead and let this stint just be a little bit long. We'll bring in Mueller. And who's going to go out there? McGraw's looking the best. Let's go and let him do that. We'll give him a full tank. Well, hold on, let's see. Yeah, you can see, looking at it, we have too much fuel. Still overestimated it. So we don't need to give McGraw a full tank. We'll give him like 45. We can get away with 40, I think, for most of the drivers. But we'll give him 45. Nothing there. And with our current excellent position, we're definitely going to go safe on the pit stops. Okay. And then Goddard. We'll go around one more time. Just to make sure that we've got enough space here. We don't trip over each other in pit row if there were to happen to be a... And there we go. Mistake on the front right, costing almost a second. That's a wimpy mistake, but still. Now Goddard's going to come in. Yep. And let's see. Could go either way. But, you know, I'm going to switch to Castelli, because if we want her to run twice, I think that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to go up to, go there, 40. Let's see how that 40 goes. I did switch tires. Yes, I did. Okay, excellent. Whoops. Okay, yeah, you're all set the way you are. And of course, yeah, tires coming out neutral means we'll have to drop them pretty quickly. And of course now we're just waiting for everybody else to come in so we can see what we're really at. We have a gap of just enough between the cars, about 25 seconds. So at least for the moment, we should be able to I'm going to let this go a little bit higher this time. Castelli, probably good to have her go first. All right, let's slow this down a bit now. Whoa. It's a partial miss. And McGraw's actually the lead car. No point in going too crazy with her. Let's go and back off those tires. Some of the others taking stints that are overlong, in my opinion. Okay, you lost your groove. Good, actually. Medium, conserve. Now the others coming in. So Negrao definitely in the lead for car 1. And Castelli, lots of energy to burn. Up into third at the moment, although other cars on faster tires may pass us for a bit. But first and third after an hour and a half, quarter of the way through the race, I will definitely take that. .5 for Negrao, 6.9 Castelli. We're getting good driving. Very good driving today. Okay, we'll go for some more advancing time and then make sure we stay with Castelli so she can go first when we come back out of this. Continue to hold in first and third. All right. Let's go ahead and get back on the tires a bit. Negrao probably not quite ready to do that. Almost a 30-second lead on the field. And Castelli right there behind our lovely second place rivals in Tongue. And yeah, once we get that pass, it's home free. Pretty early in the race for it. It's going to end up being some decidedly boring races here at the end of the year, if indeed we continue to improve our performance. Get one more out of each. And let's bump you up to neutral so that both cars are on the same wavelength. There we go, and we'll definitely want to be hopping into Negrao next time. But this race really starting to move along methodically now. We've got the gap. We're near the lead, in the lead, and near second place, I should say. We're able to knock out these nice boosts along that back straightaway. So pretty much everything going as well as it could be. We're already halfway through this second stint. And coming up on the 2-hour mark, 4 hours to go. And we'll go once more round, and then we're going to have to slow it down. Whoops. Messed that up. Let's at least get the second one. Alright, we're going to have to give you a little bit extra burn here. Won't be that long. Probably not long at all until we can just run whatever. Matter of fact, I think Negrao is ahead enough that I'm just going to boost him whenever he needs it. And then focus on Castelli. Because she's the one that I've got to get her ahead of Tongue and then out to a safe distance. And we'll speed along again. Nope. Let's give him a few more boosts here. So it seems, at least over this last session, that we're roughly staying even, like pulling away from the rest, but not doing too great at catching them. So this could be a battle to get second place. I'm confident we'll eventually win it. It's just a question of how long it takes. And the 1 hour mark for this stint has arrived. Gonna let Negrao go up to maybe an hour 20. Pull Castelli more like on time, or maybe even a hair early. (8.8) for Negrao, 7.6 for Castelli. Outstanding driving going on here. Making my job a lot easier. So Castelli making up some time, but unable to get all the way there. Let's pop back to conserve for just a bit, both drivers. Not for super long. And actually, I don't want her to do that at all. Now we'll pop him back up to neutral. And yeah, hold on, let's slow down. That's far enough. You come in. Let's throw Bjork out there. And let's see, with 40... Hold on. 40 laps of fuel is plenty. And we could actually get away with a little bit less. So we'll give Bjork 40 since we want him to run a little bit long. Sometimes I'm not sure I've switched all that stuff properly. Okay. Go ahead and stop. McGraw, you go ahead and boost. Let's see what we can get out of Thad Bjork. Even with one more pit stop than most of the rest of the field, car number 2 is still in 5th, was predicted 6th. That's only going to get better. Should be able to get one more good boost out of this. Then after that, we'll pull in Andre Negrao, who has plenty of fuel left. So you can go have a sit down. Muck hasn't been out there yet. It's his turn. Tires. 40 laps of fuel. And let's make that happen. Nice stop. And I think we're speeding away again now. Tongue in first until they come in and pit. Not worried about that. Worried about where car 2 with Bjork ends up. And again, like not quite as good as the last pair, but both drivers driving well. Whoops. Overshot it a bit. So need to really make sure that we nail this lap's boost. Start working that amount down again. Cars that went on long stints, then I'm assuming they're doing short ones on ultras. They'll have to be short ones. Boy, just barely got around there to that in time. We can use up almost 30% on one of these boosts. So that's a nice straightaway. Very, very nice straightaway. Tires that low but fired up. They probably want to use the fired up bonus, but very problematic. Have to think for them to try to be competitive on those tires. See how much their next pit stop sets them back. Go ahead and conserve our tires. And we'll have one more. And away we go. Yeah, just using ultras in an endurance race just does not make sense to me. Here comes Tung into the pits. They're going to go out on ultras. Okay. We'll see how that works out for you. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but we'll see. Bjork ready to turn out some nice laps and fired up, and Muck is not far away from him hitting it. There it goes. Up to neutral on the tires here as well. We'll go around one more time. Halfway point of the race here in Vancouver. And we have fallen behind that car further. I don't know if that's going to last, but we seriously have fallen behind them further. So they've been doing well. And we're maintaining the 30-second gap just fine with car 1. But car 2, got to continue micromanaging this. It's not taking up much time anyway. Just go a few laps this way and then a few on the times 12 speed. Weather, staying dry. It's going to get wet though. Okay. We can see rain in our future. So we definitely want to come in when that hits. And not before if we can at all help it. Tires are going to be fine. It's going to be a question of fuel. Looks like it's 30-40 minutes away. So when it gets a little bit closer, we're going to have to watch our fuel really tight and possibly back off. We're going to look at it when we get to about the hour mark on these stints, and we're not that far away from it, especially with Bjork. That's quite all right. You did fine. Whoops. Seem to be just hanging out about 10 seconds back of them. Although maybe we'll be able to gain some now. Bjork driving outstanding at 9-1. They're fired up, but their tires are going away fast. Another 20 or 30 minutes. I don't know. I might want to go down to low. Not with Muck. Muck, I think, has enough. Because Bjork has been out here a few more minutes. Now, he's supposed to take a long session, but I don't know about that long. Let's speed along a little bit more. Okay, 7.5 laps of fuel. We're getting pretty close. I don't think we're going to need to back off. I could be wrong. We will see. He's fading further behind Sims. But I don't think we need to back off. And look at them pitting, and they're either going to have to go inters early or... So that's not going to work out well for them in any regard. Yeah, and we got some that are coming out. Yeah, they're new ultras, and that's what they need for now. But others coming in, and we want to stay out till it starts getting wet. We're either going to make it or we're going to be darn close. Bjork not driving quite as fast as he was, but well, and there we go. We're getting the first little bits of damp. We've still got a few more laps to go. So yeah, I think with it we should make it as long as we need to. We got plenty of gap between the drivers also, so that we can pit them both at the same time. So that's going to be nice as well. So yeah, most of the field taking an extra pit stop here that we're not taking. Got plenty of tire. Just sort of waiting for them to start throwing a fit about the rain. It's coming. It's not there yet. See, 3 laps from here. I may go low a bit to stretch out one more lap. Yeah, I don't see any reason not to. Got 2 laps plus there. So 2 more. And then there we go. So now we're going to come in. Okay, we're going to grab Inters. We're going to grab Mueller, who has a little bit less than a full stint. And I don't know how long this is going to last. Inters. But he can't go more than a full stint, so there's no point in giving him more than the 40. And Bjork, as soon as he comes around on this one, there we go. He should just make it. We got Castelli and we got Goddard, and they're both ready. Castelli driving better right now, so we'll go to her and then have Goddard finish up. And she, yeah, there's no point in giving her more than the 40 either. See how close this gets on the fuel. Mueller going back out on the track. Definitely losing some form with that switch. Here's Bjork. Beautiful. Made it into pit row with about 0.1 laps of fuel. You can't judge it any better than that. We're definitely the first to go Inters, which I think is probably going to be to our benefit. And they're slowly catching us right now. But now, okay, now it's going up. So now it's all to our benefit to be out there on Inters. $9.9 for Castelli, and Mueller up in the 6s. Looks like the water's going to be with us for a while. The only question is whether it hangs out to the end of the race. And no crashes yet today. What's everybody waiting for? Did have a collision there though. Okay, now some of the others coming in. So we might have come in a little bit early, but I don't think so. And definitely we look at, with the others taking an extra pit stop, we should be able to just, auto do this. Yeah, 30-second lead plus. So the last 2 hours of this race should be essentially racing itself, basically on autopilot here. At least we hope. Oh, we got somebody repairing. That's unusual this late in the year. Okay, and I've been conserving too much. I don't want to conserve down as far as I did, but I do want to conserve some. And look at Castelli, maxed out. 10.0, Mueller's 6.9. Just watching the time, watching the gauges, making sure we don't botch anything here, but it's all looking great. Mueller even fired up. And yeah, everybody else, one pit stop off compared to us. So we beat them all on that. That might even be a little bit far on the tires. And we had a decisive advantage, and then we increased it basically with that pit strategy. Got about 40 minutes or so on Castelli and not that long on Mueller. Mueller's going to have to come in first. Temperature is getting warmer. We may have to go back to conserve some. We shall see. Now, that's holding, and then it's eventually going to die off some. But it doesn't look like it could happen. Anything could happen in the last 45 minutes. But it looks like we're just going to be doing one final stint on inters. Yep. Mueller getting close. If what I can tell, I didn't have any penalty last time. So I wondered if it just automatically pits you at the end of that if you go over the line. You definitely don't have to be super careful of it, though, because I don't recall any penalty the last race. And almost a full minute now from second to third. We definitely want to conserve some. Not a huge amount, but let's back off. We're approaching the wettest part of the storm. That much is obvious. The rain is gonna back off, but it's not showing it stopping yet. Mueller locks up the tires. That's okay. We've got enough tire. Want to go down to maybe just below half temperature, and then we'll boost that right back up. Hour and a half to go. And that should be good. Yeah, we have no need to use your fuel, and I'm not sure that you have that much to spare anyway, but we have no need to use it. "20 minutes left for Mueller. Be somewhere around the 1 hour mark when he gets out of this car. Up 7.8. Castelli down to 8.5, which is just dandy. But yeah, I mean, we are accelerating away from the field now. But really struggling with the temperature are the Inters. Yep. I think I'm going back down again. Particularly because I have no real great reason not to. Not overheat the tires. Let's not do anything that's going to risk a crash. Okay, there's another lockup. That's fine. And this stint particularly, just destroying the competition now. Only a few minutes left. Both drivers. Back to neutral. Okay, this should be the last one for Mueller. Let's bring him in. Muck will have plenty of time to finish off this track. We could bring in Negrau, but Muck should have plenty of energy. Let's let him do it. And then let's make sure on our weather. It is going to dry out, but it doesn't look like it's going to dry out completely. So I think Inters is where we're still going to want to be. We won't need 40, but we'll give them about that much anyway. There we go. Now, Castelli, you've got a few to go. Not much. And they slow it down for the pit stop. And then on we go. And yeah, I think this is it for her. Wow, Bjork at 10. Goddard only at 6. But Bjork is not fully rested. And we are in no need of anything else. Final pit stop for car 2. And they are back out there. And we've got an hour of racing to get through. Get through is all we need to do with it. You can see that a little bit more clearly there at the end now. Yeah. I think at worst we're going to be at the borderline there at the end. We certainly shouldn't need to do another tire change. Conserve. I'm just going to drop the tires way down just because we have the time to afford to do it. When it's wettest, it's best to be most cautious anyway. We can afford it. Goddard going into fired up mode. We'll see that soon with Muck. But all of that is extremely irrelevant, as even Goddard has a lead of about over a minute, well over a minute, over the competition. And yeah, basically just literally waiting for the race to end. I could get up and go make myself a sandwich. And all that would happen is the tires is the only thing I would have to concern myself with. This would max out and slow it down, and the tires hitting temperature variances. Those are the only things I have to do, and they're pretty much things that anybody could do. They don't require a lot of decision making at all. You just wait till it's time to push the button, and now we're going to go back up to neutral for at least a good part of the rest of the way. Now I believe that we've got, yes, we have a 2-minute lead. Second place to the field. So this is really a comprehensive butt kicking. Let's just see what it's going to do to our standings. Yeah, they're splitting the points pretty well. Really? That's not too bad. Thankfully, that's a low red zone one. Should be able to get there. Anyway. So our lead is going to be 84 points. And we need 87 to clinch the race after this. So we'd only need to gain like 3 points, roughly. Depending on where this ends up. We're going to be just a few points, very close to a 2-race lead. All right, 20 minutes left. Alpine Matmet is untouchable here in Vancouver. That is for sure. Stefan Muck driving well. Goddard solid. Muck quite well at the moment. And they're steaming their way towards what is going to be a record finish. In terms of my performance in endurance races, anyway. And yeah, let's go conserve for a bit here. Matter of fact, probably just conserve the rest of the way. Just because we can. Just over 10 minutes to go. Yes. So, track is drying, but it's not drying that much. Nobody's going to pit and stop us. You never know what they might screw up a wheel or whatever if we go into the pit. Probably not. But it's too late for anybody to do anything about it. I like how you can see, like there's that little heartbeat thing there that goes a little faster as they get more tired. And also you can see the other driver's stamina without having going to the pit screen. So that's a nice touch. And everybody's happy, as they should be. Top 2 spots again. 1,075, 1,069, 1,064. So 1 lap behind, just under 2 laps behind, I think, for Sims, Tung, and Rollins. They were our only competition and for a while, and then we sort of ran away with it. Top 2 teams now in the overall standings. Yep, 79-point lead. TRSM, CFC TRSM, we need to beat them by 8 points in the next race. And if we do, we will clinch. I fell asleep. How did it end? If you fell asleep anytime after the last, like 2.5 hours, you didn't miss anything. Good driving across the board, especially Negrao. Nobody gets improvements. 8.0, 8.1, 6.1. Again, excellent driving from all our drivers here. No improvements. Marketability goes up. 1.2 million. So, even with all the money we spent on pit crew, we are crawling upwards, and I think we're going to be roughly break even at the end of the year before we get our prize money. That's not too bad. Could definitely be worse. So, we're off to Dubai next. We're going to look to clinch this thing. Till then, thanks for watching, everybody. More Motorsport Manager will continue.